Hello, everybody. Recently I decided to speedrun a game called Jacksmith, and today I wanted to go through my first ever speedrun attempt of that game, or a speedrun ever, and just look at how well I did and what I think I can improve on, because I am going to be trying to improve this run. So the timer starts as soon as you click continue after you're finished typing in your name there. My timer is bugging out a little, but that's not too big of a deal. So I had a pretty clean first sword that time through for the building part there. Obviously there are some things like the piece is not dragging that I can improve, but that much is pretty obvious there. I went through and watched some of the more updated speedruns after I did this run. I wanted to do this run without any real information on the run, just to see what I could get. And I found out that my method there at the start of just making this sword is not the fastest you can do it. You can actually start a sword and then go and start another sword immediately and finish that sword. And by the time you get back to the first sword, it's almost ready for you to pour out. So that's a lot faster. I was also making a lot of pretty crooked weapons my first run through here, because I thought that would be more time efficient, but it's actually more time efficient to just make a good sword that can get through the battle faster. So that's another mistake I made a lot. There's not much in the combat for the first 2 days, because you can't have any influence on it. Other than that, you're just picking up all the items that are dropped. So the first couple days of fighting are pretty uneventful. They just run around with the weapons you made them and try to get through. So for the first 3 days, you pretty much have to clear and kill all of the enemies. So we had a pretty good first day, but it's definitely not good that their weapons broke that early. So we finished combat 3 minutes and 5 seconds on the first day. Had a little mess up on the menu there. I don't really know what I was doing in that menu there. So I saved a lot of time in my runs after this first run by not just making a weapon, but by starting the other weapons first and then going back in and working on this weapon. So instead of just getting the order and going back to this weapon, I'd start a couple others first. So that loses me a lot of time in this first run that I did. It's actually my third run of trying the game. The first two were just kind of messing around, figuring it out. But I figured I would just submit my third run and see how it went. And I was in 4th place at the time, but a bunch of other speedruns got uploaded like the day after, so I dropped down to 8th. I also messed up there by using the copper instead of using the bronze like I probably should have. Because you want to use all of your good resources early, because after the 3rd day, on the 4th day, you want to fail after you kill the third enemy, because that's the threshold to get level 5 if you clear the first 3 days. So yeah, the weapon broke at a pretty good time that run through. So I wasn't too upset about combat on that day, because the combat is also somewhat random for this game. You can see that I'm pretty bad at hitting continue after the combat though. That's definitely something that I've cleaned up since this run. At the time of recording, I'm still not sure if you should purchase stuff here. I definitely purchased the wrong thing. You shouldn't purchase luck, since this is the last day that you're going to be in combat, and all luck does is increase your odds of getting better drops. If you get luck items in day 2, then you can go ahead and use those to get good stuff for day 3. Like I definitely should have used the luck items I had there instead of the elemental one, which will do nothing for me since all of the enemies are neutral. Except it doesn't matter since it's day 3. So yeah, I'm definitely losing time, a lot of time, because I'm only making one weapon at a time here. So yeah, like right there, I tried to go fast and I screwed up the pouring. And that definitely cost me some time in the actual battle this run. And now that it's day 3, we get access to the cannonball during the combat, which is actually something that we can do to help interact and clear through the combat a bit faster. So in general, you just want to use it on cooldown. Usually you don't lose the third day of combat since you get access to the cannonball. So that's pretty helpful once you get past the first 2 days of speed running, the first 2 days of the game. It's not too hard to get through the third day. So I start with making an axe here, since you're basically guaranteed to get an axe. However, since I hadn't watched any other speedruns, we see that I start with an iron axe here on day 4, which is not something you want to be doing. You want to use only copper weapons in general. However, since I did have an iron, if I do go for it, yeah, since I used iron, I should be going for just the best weapons that I can make, since I made that mistake, to see if I can just clear the level instead of failing after the third guy, since I've already got a high level weapon. But you know, that's what you get when you try to speedrun uneducated. Yeah, watching this back is pretty painful, if I'm being honest. Yeah, that was really bad. I just thought it would be faster. So yeah, I didn't use my cannonball just because I was like, maybe if I don't use my cannonball, my people will die faster. And then I don't have to go through the whole day. Although I definitely should have used my cannonball because I knew that you were supposed to fail the fourth day. I just didn't know you weren't supposed to use the good weapons. Since I did use the good weapons, I should have just been using my cannonball and trying to clear the day. But having that one really bad bow was kind of me trying to screw up so that I could lose faster. And he definitely went out of there pretty quick. But I lose a lot of time because of that. So I should have just made good weapons after I made the iron axe to see if I could get through a bit faster. But because I didn't use my cannonball, we see that I am able to get my guy knocked out after the third guy. that's a 12:42. The time stops after the weapon breaks, not when I stopped my timer. I stopped it a bit late. But yeah, that was my first speedrun attempt at Jacksmith. I definitely did not do very good, as you can see by the current leaderboards. The 12:42 would have had me in 10th place now. They've updated the leaderboards a lot. I have been running. I did get an 11:33 that I have uploaded that you can go check out. I might do an analysis of that later, but if I keep improving, I'll probably just do an analysis of my best time whenever I'm content with that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you all later.